Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? It's Fadal Colleagues again, and you won't even believe what I'm drinking. But anyway, I'm here to talk about this review of Hell in a Cell that did happen almost a night ago. So, if you haven't subscribed to me, please click up there. I need some subscribers. I want to thank the 10 subscribers who subscribed to me. This has been a real appreciation, man. But anyway, here to kick off what happened in the first night. First match that happened was Miz, Morrison, and Daniel Bryan. That match did very good. I was glad of the upper hand from the Miz. Miz pulled some great moves, great submission moves, especially towards Daniel Bryan when they took it all the way to the top of the stairs and then they traveled all the way to the ramp. I mean, Morrison pulled off some great French training moves. I mean, that's what made his matches very epic. And I mean, I'm glad of Morrison's push getting for a title for United States Champion. So they with the Miz pitting Daniel Bryan and John Morrison against each other, he made it a lot interesting, and I'm very to see a lot of his action moves, especially when he kicked the thing all the way to the Miz after Morrison countered that Miz's cart pushed to him. So luckily enough that didn't happen, and apparently with Daniel Bryan nailing John Morrison nailing his Texas Cloverleaf. I mean, that was an interesting submission move. We haven't seen that in a long time, ever since Dean Malenko's signature finishing move, the cover leaf. Considered the cover leaf. But with the Miz pulled some great submission holds, especially towards Daniel Bryan, towards the Miz, especially towards the top of the ramp. I mean, that match was very epic. A good opening match, and it was great. And with Morrison nailing his submission holds, and with Daniel Bryan knocked out, Alex Riley came into the aid of Morrison. I was hoping in the future that Morrison and Alex Riley would pull off their feud, but luckily enough, Morrison gets thrown, got flipped over to the back, and got powerfully slammed. And with Daniel Bryan eventually soon nailing in his bell lock to make the Miz tap out. So it was 2 pay-per-views in a row that Miz tapped out to the bell lock, and I think Daniel Bryan's getting a good push. I gotta tell you. That match was very great. I was a little impressed with how they took the matches everywhere. It wasn't just in a ring, and there would be no point of naming that match. But luckily enough, I was a little bit impressed with that match. And I gotta say, I really liked it. It was great, and it really made a lot of impact. I'm telling you, it did make some good impact. It was oddly very epic. So moving on, there was a second match, Randy Orton versus Sheamus. I was very impressed with that match. How they used the steel steps in there. Sheamus used a backbreaker. I gotta say, there was a lot of suspense in that match. I thought Randy Orton was gonna nail to the punch to the head, but Sheamus eventually countered, and pretty much enough. Sheamus was able to nail 2 bro kicks. Randy Orton kicked out of both those bro kicks, and that was very impressive. I mean, with Randy Orton and Sheamus, they pulled off some great chemistry in the match. The match wasn't boring at all, especially now they used steel steps, a lot of weapons. They used the cell a lot. They took full advantage of the match being in a cell, and I was extremely impressed with that. Quite frankly, with the cell being thrown in there, apparently with Triple H and Randy Orton and Sheamus using a lot of bashing the cell, especially from Sheamus getting brutally attacked, Randy Orton getting attacked himself. I gotta say, that brings a lot of suspense in this match. I mean, we all know Randy Orton was gonna win at one point. I mean, I thought Randy Orton was gonna nail the punt kick, like I said before, but with Sheamus, Sheamus did some impressive moves. I thought he nailed the Irish Curse onto the steel step. I was surprised he used a knee. I don't know how that brings so much impact on the steel step. I think that was a little bit thrown off, but I think he could have used a slam on the steel step to bring a lot more impact, a lot more suspense to the match, apparently for me personally. So that match did very good. I gave it a 4 stars out of 5, and the first match I gave it 4 stars out of 5. I was very impressed with those matches, and that match was very epic, and it wasn't boring at all. So with the Randy Orton and Sheamus in the Hell in a Cell match, it was really impressive, and it brought a lot more interest for the pay-per-view. I mean, Randy Orton and Sheamus pulled off some epic matches despite the feud getting boring because we see them go at it again and again. But Randy Orton officially now a face. I mean, this has been really bringing some hot promos. So pretty much, I was really impressed. So Randy Orton pulls a win with the RKO. I think on the steel chair or steel steps, and Randy Orton pulls a win. Pretty much enough. So we had the next match. The next match was unexpectedly with Alberto Del Rio pulling in a promo, and then Shirley Edge comes off saying how stupid he was, making Rey Mysterio a little chihuahua dressed up as Rey Mysterio, and he kisses that little chihuahua. That was pretty funny, and a very funny promo for Alberto Del Rio. I thought it was going to be a handicap match after your anonymous general manager budges in, and Jack Swagger demanded an apology and a medical bill for assaulting the Eagle, the man under the Eagle uniform. So pretty much we did see Edge did not state the apology, and Jack Swagger was going to be ready to, Edge was going to attack Jack Swagger, but Alberto Del Rio came in and helped. But I really wanted to see a handicap match with Alberto Del Rio and Swagger versus Edge, because I thought if the Donna's general manager again apology, I thought he should serve a little punishment to Edge after what he done. I think he could have did a little bit more than that, and I think that was a little bit weak there. It was weak because, like, why did he put a one-on-one match? I really wanted to see a handicap match. Like, Vicky Guerrero is an epic heel because he knows how to put punishments on superstars. Like Mickie James, when Vicky got embarrassed because he got splashed by Clotter. I forgot what it was. I think it's cottage cheese, and Vicky got splashed, so he punished him. Michelle McCool was barefoot, fighting barefoot. That was odd, and I think it really proved a lot of odd aggression. So, luckily enough, we saw that, and I think it was good. Vicky Guerrero put Eric Escobar in like 2 handicap matches, I think, or 2 or 3. It was Hart Dynasty against Escobar, and then 1 week after that it was Jericho, and I think a week after that it was against Kane. So pretty much I think the anonymous general manager could have did something bigger than what she should have done. So I think Vicky was probably the anonymous general manager. I don't know, but hopefully that comes around anytime soon. So anyway, Edge pulls a win after countering the ankle lock, and I think the finish was very great. Jack Swagger countering the spear was very epic. I like how he caught him during the spear in the gut-wrench powerbomb. So it was good reversals there. I was impressed with the reversals. The reversals really shooken up the match a lot and really brought a lot of light into some of the suspenseful finishes there. So I kind of liked it. It was great, and I'm really gonna. And I have to say, I'm drinking on this, man. Anyways, pretty much. So after that, we had Cena against the Nexus. That match brought a lot of suspense. So far with the Nexus interfering in the match, they're like, "Oh, stay out." Wade Barrett said his plan's gonna work. We didn't know what his plan was, and quite frankly, I was a little bit surprised that he brought a plan, especially with Cena. His plan was he's going to straight up win, but quite frankly, we didn't see that. So, with Cena getting up your hand mostly way to the match, John Cena, nailing his attitude, Judgment kicks out, Wade Barrett nailing the waistline, kicks out. Wade Barrett didn't know what to do, and that brought a lot of suspense. Like, how's he going to nail out Cena? And frankly, Cena, was going to nail his attitude adjustment, then his STF finishing move, Wade Barrett got to the ropes. John Cena tried to nail it again. And then we had a fan, and it looked like Michael McGillicuddy. I could have told that was Michael McGillicuddy, obviously. And then Husky Harris. I knew it was Husky Harris. I could have told by the beard and by the, the hair, I don't know whatnot. But I knew it was Husky Harris and McGillicuddy. There was no suspense to that. I knew it was McGillicuddy, at first. I was, tweeting everybody that. McGillicuddy, Harris, Husky Harris. I saw it at first, and then Mike Cole's it's a fan. End the suspense. It was McGillicuddy Harris, former competitors of Season 2. They may be the new replacements for Nexus. Hopefully Nexus becomes a bigger organization. It's not just, Wade Barrett and that crew. Just like Team Rocket for Pokemon, where Team Rocket's actually an organization. A villainous organization who work for Giovanni. So frankly, we saw from that. So with Cena now officially a member of the Nexus, I'm very glad we saw a lot of suspense that happened this past Monday night. And, it's going to make the angle more interesting. So now I'm glad that Nexus is going to bragging rights. And the Nexus is going to start bragging rights. Because if the Nexus were done, it's like, who's Cena going to feud? He's going to get back in the same title hunt for the WWE Championship? He needs a break from the WWE Championship. Now it's time to bring more interest to the Raw And the kids weren't shocked. I was like surprised. But you know, this is like kind of a heroic show like Teen Titans when Robin had to join Slade, or when you know, some hero movies where they had to side with the villains for a brief amount of time. But luckily enough, John Cena's gonna find a way out of it. It's gonna be like Lita having to marry Kane. Lita had to work with Kane, but luckily Lita was easily able to screw out of Kane. So Lita didn't even get along with Kane. But then eventually, after Kane turned face, Lita began warming up to him. Anyway, so I think it's a little similar, but I know it's back comparison. Back comparison was Shawn Michaels and JBL. Shawn Michaels had to work for JBL. I think JBL was GM at the time, and then Shawn Michaels' family was losing money. They were about to go broke or something like that. So Shawn Michaels could have just sold the house and moved to a regular home, but he probably loved the mansion so much he didn't like moving. So pretty much moving on, we had the Diva match and Michelle McCool and Natalya. That match did very good. I would have been surprised if Natalya was able to pull the win. Because Natalya and Michelle McCool had some good submission holds, and Michelle McCool is having some great chemistry with superstars she faced against, like with Mickie James. The TLC match last year was great. It was a lot of suspense. I would have seen a lot of surprise if Mickie James won, but then she won in the Royal Rumble, which was 15 seconds. Mickie James beat Michelle McCool. And with Beth Phoenix, Michelle McCool had a great match with Beth Phoenix. It was an okay match, but it did very good. So I think with Michelle McCool and Natalya, they pulled a great match. Natalya's going to nail a sharpshooter. We all know Michelle McCool's going to tap. So what we didn't expect was Layla was going to throw the shoe at the ref. I have to say, I should have been laughing when that happened. I thought she threw the shoe at the ref, but it was actually Natalya. So I give a toast to that. She threw the shoe at Natalya, which nailed the disqualification. So Natalya gets frustrated, try to chase out LayCool, but apparently Michelle McCool was able to nail an escape, and then Natalya holds the Divas Championship belt. I don't know what she's done with it, but she just hold it for agony and anxiety. So hopefully we see more of Natalya after that Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Even though we didn't see them Monday night, we saw LayCool against the Bellas, and that match was pretty epic. Hopefully I see more of their feud. That's the feud I wanted to see. But since Bella Twins are like mid-card or superstars, I don't think the match is going to have that much ratings or that much heat. Because, you know, LayCool's getting most of the heat. Anyway, after that, we have the main event, Undertaker versus Kane. As Undertaker with Paul Bearer. Undertaker and Paul Bearer pulled a very epic... Undertaker and Kane had very epic matches. I like the double boot to the face with... It was like both of them in like a double knockout, pretty much. And then it was very epic. I really liked that part. Undertaker pulled some great leg drop, good upper hand through the match. Kane pulled a good upper hand through the match. And I did have a feeling that Paul Bearer was going to turn on Kane, I think, and then Paul Bearer was going to shine the urn on the Undertaker. I knew something like that was going to happen. Like, I've been chatting with people about that. I've been posting on Twitter. I said on my preview that Paul Bearer is going to turn on the Undertaker. I had a feeling, and it's going to stretch the feud farther, and I think that's going to be epic. Paul Bearer's going to turn on the Undertaker, and then it's going to stretch the feud farther. Because if he did Undertaker win, then it's like, who would the Undertaker face at Hell in a Cell? I mean, at Survivor Series, or who would Kane face? But either way, the feud's going to stretch. But with the Undertaker losing again, it made it even more interesting. So now we can see if Kane wins that Survivor Series and the feud goes on to WrestleMania. I don't think the feud will go that far. I highly doubt that. But apparently, I was very proud that I was very surprised because in the end, Paul Bearer was cornered. I thought Undertaker and Kane were both going to attack Paul Bearer, or Undertaker was going to attack Paul Bearer. I was like, what's going on? And then Paul Bearer handed the urn to Kane. I was like, what the heck? I was a little confused there. And then Kane nailed Undertaker with the urn. And then Paul Bearer laughed and sided with Kane. And then he nailed the tombstone. Pretty much, I was a little bit surprised for that to happen. But I knew Paul Bearer was going to turn on Undertaker. But I didn't know how it was going to happen. I was very confused halfway through that match. But to be honest, it was a lot of suspense. And it was just a little bit weird there. But the Undertaker and Kane feud has been great, but we all know people saw it in 99, 2000, but I did not see that. I thought Paul Bearer was with Kane originally, so apparently, I wasn't too surprised, about the the turn on from the Undertaker. But since I'm watching it now, I'll be catching on to see what goes on from there. So it's Rendog Extreme. Thank you guys for watching my review. Hopefully you enjoyed this. So have a good day, man. Peace.